a family who chose a different path, welcome to or welcome back to Reawaken Your Life. I am Elise A. Wiggins, and on this channel, I support moms and caregivers experiencing burnout. So, first, I want to apologize because in the email it says that I normally go live on Mondays, but yesterday was like a crazy day and I did not want to not do a video. So I wanted to do it today. So we'll just call today, tell it like it is Tuesday. And in my last video, I discussed you can start over again because that's exactly what I was doing last week, Monday, on Make It Happen Mondays. I was starting the YouTube channel all over again because life happens and I got taken off track, right? And in today's video, we're going to discuss having the courage to be different because we all know being different is not easy in a world where all we do is follow and mimic everything that everyone else is doing. So, also, too, if you are an employee who's feeling overwhelmed, I separated the content for, if I wanted to just come and get some things off my chest, talk about my personal life, talk about my book. And yes, I am actually outside, I'm live, right? Um, I wanted to talk about those things here on YouTube. But if you are experiencing workplace issues or stuff that's going on with workplace, I discussed that on my LinkedIn page on Wednesdays. It's the same name, Reawaken Your Light on LinkedIn. And we discuss Workplace Wednesdays. So that's on my LinkedIn page on Wednesdays at 11. And like I said, normally we're here on YouTube live Mondays at 11 a.m. So let's jump right into this video because I wanted to actually share 4 to 5 things with you. So I'll dive into it a little bit. So I always knew I was different. And what do I mean? I mean, I grew up uh, as the only child in my family at the time. I was surrounded by a lot of adults. I was born to teenage parents, primarily was raised by my maternal grandparents. And like I said early on, I knew I was different. This was actually solidified when I graduated from high school and I went on to college. At the time, I was studying at John Jay of CUNY. I wanted to study criminal justice. My dad was incarcerated, and I was like, you know what? I want my dad to come home from jail. So I'm going to study to become a lawyer. That was my passion at the time, law. And when I initially wanted to go to school, my entire family was against it. They were like, okay, you just graduated from high school. Like, how much more education do you need? Like, go get a job. Go get a city job is what I was told. So I was strongly discouraged, from going back to school. Now, fast forward, how many years later, almost everyone in my family graduates from high school and goes to college, and it's like an accomplishment, a celebration. But at the time, for me, when I made the decision, it was met with so much criticism. So the first thing I want to say to you is, if you are the person in your family that's taking a different path, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to ignore people. And that means that maybe you might have to ignore your own family. You're going to have to ignore friends. You're going to have to ignore naysayers because people are going to talk about you regardless, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. Someone can always throw salt in the game. Someone can always find negativity and even the most positive thing. So number one, if you're the person in your family who's taking a different path, you're going to have to learn to ignore certain people. Now, the second thing is, did I make mistakes along this journey? Yes. Are there things that can be mentioned today? People can, as they say, they can throw tea or they can throw shade. Yes, absolutely. There are some things that I definitely am embarrassed by. There are certain things that I do feel sorry for. However, I don't regret them happening because if they didn't happen, I wouldn't be the Elise that I am today. So the second thing I have to say, if you're someone who is going a different path, you have to be able to acknowledge your mistakes. You have to be able to say, you know what, I did that, I messed up, I was wrong. And you're going to have to ask for forgiveness. Even if people don't want to forgive you, you might just have to forgive yourself. But never take away personal responsibility, meaning, never say, oh, it's because of these people that this has happened, or it's because of that person. Own up to your mistake. Take personal responsibility and say, you know what, I effed up, I made that mistake. Because what I find is that it frees you. Being able to admit your mistakes and forgive yourself, like I said, regardless if anybody else forgives you, if you ask somebody for forgiveness and they don't want to forgive you, that's between them and them. But if you're someone who's taken a different path, you can't be weighed down by your past mistakes. When I tell you, I have people up until today. Today is Tuesday, August 8th, 2023, and they're throwing things up in my face that happened long ago. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that happened, but this is where I am now. I moved on. Because another thing too, when you're able to admit to your mistakes, what can you say to you after that? After you said, okay, yeah, I did that, I was wrong, moving forward, right? And then number three is, well, really number four, right? Because number one is people are gonna talk regardless. You gotta ignore them. Number two is you gotta know that you're gonna make mistakes and own up to your mistakes, right? Um, Number three, forgive yourself. Ask for forgiveness. If they don't forgive you, you forgive yourself. And then the last thing I want to say to you is, you cannot seek external validation on this journey. If you're someone who's taken a different path, so going back, using myself as an example, I was the first one in my family to actually grab my immediate family to graduate from college. I was the first one in my family to not have a job, right? That was the whole thing. Like, oh, you're lazy, you don't want to work. But I always had the mindset of, I need to work for myself. And that's one thing I can definitely give tribute to. You gotta give props to where it's due. I can give tribute to the father of my children, because he always said to me, I don't care how many degrees you get, make sure you always own your own business. And it's something that I always strive to do. And now today that I actually am an entrepreneur, and I'm not just running the business by myself anymore. Like I said, now I have a team. This will actually be the last week that I'll be working with a lot of the members of my team. I'm working with a group of high school, well, now they're all college interns, but they're from the New York City Department of Youth and Community Development Summer Youth Employment Program. And they've definitely been helping me with my marketing and how to improve, and how to improve my message and get it out to the people who need to hear it, right? So now I'm in business 8 years. And yes, it has been a struggle. Yes, it has been a lot of loss. Yes, it has been a lot of setbacks. However, I see it all as personal development. I see it all as, it's all just a learning lesson. It's like a classroom. It's like my teacher, but it's life, it's experience, right? Going back to point number four about seeking external validation, everything is not always going to go according to plan. Everything is not going to always go the way you expected. The people you started this journey with, you might not even be on the journey with them right now. The reason I say don't seek external validation is because I just got to be plain and simple. And this is something too. I want you to comment below if you are interested in studying the Bible with me. I would definitely be willing to come on Fridays at 11 a.m. and just kind of talk like some real spiritual talk, to share with you some scriptures and things that has helped me. But going back to the example, 1 minute they were screaming Hosanna for Jesus. One week they were screaming Hosanna, and we have Palm Sunday and he's walking with the donkey and everybody's praising him. And the next week they were screaming, crucify him, crucify him. So how does that relate to external validation? It relates because 1 minute people will be screaming and praising your name, and then in the next second they'll be like, kill her, kill him, get them off this, right? Hurt them. So what I'm saying to you is, if you relied on how people think, feel, believe about you, if that if that dictates your self-confidence, if that dictates your self-esteem, if that dictates how you believe about yourself, what other people say about you, I got to tell you, you're already lost. Right? Like it's already doomed, because people will not always support you, and that could go anywhere from family, friends. Hell, sometimes you don't even always fully support yourself, so you can't seek external validation. Now, I can tell you this: if you feel like you're the one in your family who is taking the courage to take a different path, and you feel like you're alone and you feel like you need support, I am on every Saturday. 1 minute, a truck is passing. I am on every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm supporting moms and caregivers who just need to feel heard, who just need to be supported, who need some resources, without judgment or shame. I'm on every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll leave the link below. This month, I'm hosting Freedom Fridays, and excuse me, Freedom Friday this month will be on the 18th. And this is not just moms and caregivers, but this is anyone who feels like you want to come on and you need some support and you need to feel heard. I'll put the link below for that as well. And also, too, if you are in the New Jersey area and you need in-person support, like, I'm grateful that we have this virtual community, but sometimes you actually need to reach out and touch somebody. You need to see other people. You need to feel their energy. I will be hosting a book club and brunch. You can actually bring your children to this event. It's at the Inglewood Library, and that is Saturday, August 19th. And we have a host of people from the community who are here to support you. It's actually an intergenerational book club. So we have seniors who are supporting this event. We have high school and college interns. We have the children, and then we have us, the moms and the caregivers. So let me run down the points to you again. Number one, you have to learn to ignore people, because people are going to talk about you regardless. So you got to get it in your mind, people are going to talk. While they run their mouth, you mind your business, right? While they run their mouth, you mind your business. I got that from one of my mentors. Number two, you will make mistakes. Don't think that this journey is going to be perfect and everything is going to go hunky dory and everything is going to go up according to plan. No. So acknowledge in the beginning, okay, I'm not going to always get it right, but I am going to keep moving forward. Number three, you have to admit when you're wrong. And like I said, if you ask someone for forgiveness and they don't want to forgive you, you have to learn to forgive yourself. So forgiving yourself and owning your mistakes is something so huge, because if not, people will continue to throw your past in your face and use it to distract you and stop you. And finally, you cannot seek external validation. You can't allow other people to dictate who you are and how you feel and what you think. And like I said, if you need help with this, if you need support, my team and I are prepared to support you. We also created this monthly subscription program where you can speak to me for 30 minutes. If that's something that you're interested in, you sign up for the subscription and you have me for 30 minutes. I'll give you my undivided attention and we talk about whatever is going on with you. So you let me know in the comments below if this resonated with you. If you feel like you're the one in your family taking a different path and you've been struggling and it's been difficult for you because you haven't felt like you really had the support of a community. This is why I started this channel. This is why I call this Tell It Like It Is Tuesday, because regardless of what happened in my past, regardless of what's going on, what distractions, what trials and tribulations I'm experiencing, it's not going to stop me from getting these messages out to you. So, as always, I am Elise A. Wiggins. I thank you for your time. And I'm grateful that you're allowing me the opportunity to help you reawaken your light. And as always, you know what I'm going to say. Don't wait for leaders. become one. God bless.